What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, we are just 2 days into the Great Burn. You can see here we're just under 28 days, 21 hours, or sorry, 28 days, I should say, remaining. The leaderboard has gotten absolutely insane. You can see we've burned over 300 million DEC already, and then an additional 150 million DEC batteries on top of that. So my goal, in a sense, has already been accomplished. Now, I was saying that I wanted to see 4.8 million. So if we go to Splinter Cars, we're not quite down to 4.8 billion. We are not quite down to 4.8 billion yet, but we are very close. 4.8 billion plus 22 million away. And I do think that we're going to reach that. So now when I look at where we are at and what my expectations are for the remainder of this event, I think a lot of the fireworks are done already, and I'm not trying to put the dampeners on this, because I do think the exciting thing is there will still be a lot of jockeying for position. But many of the people who thought they had a chance for the top 10, for the top 60, for the top 200, a lot of folks have now probably tapped out, myself included. I've even talked to Darkest Night. You know, I don't even know where he is on this, but obviously he burned a million DEC and was hoping to be higher up. And at this point, I wonder if he's even in there. Darkest Night. Sorry, Darkest Night. We're gonna see where you're at. 89. So he's still top 100, which is pretty awesome. But I think for him, you know, I don't even know if he's going to go for top 60. I think he just wants to stay and hold on for the top 200 if he needs to. So the conversations like that I've been having kind of lead me to believe that the pool of people that are going to be competing are going to be much lower or much smaller. But the amount that they compete, the amount that they jockey for position might still be significant. So again, I don't really care about DECB burned. I mean, I do in the sense that I want to see it all gone, but my main focus is on DEC and how much DEC this event can actually burn. So the fact that we've burned over 300 million already, to me, is a massive success. I think I made a video just yesterday. We had already crossed 200 million, and I was like, yep, no matter what happens, this is a success. So to reach the goal on day 2, I think is pretty huge. If I'm going to give another prediction, this will be my updated prediction video, I suppose. I would like to see 500 million. Now, I'm being aggressive here because, as I said earlier, I think a lot of the fireworks are done. I think we're going to see folks just try to, dip past one another here and there with, 10,000, 100,000 DEC, 50, 60,000 DEC. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as it was where we're going to be burning tens of millions or hundreds of millions of DEC. We can, and it would be awesome. So 500 million is actually the stretch goal that I'm going to put out there. But like I said, I kind of have my doubts on where we will reach it. So the fact that we're only 2 days in, we have a full 4 weeks left, and that's going to include a couple of town halls, maybe some announcements for land, maybe some announcements for other things that they're working on with guilds, potentially things with guild points. Again, I don't know. I'm just saying that it would be really cool if there were other incentives that they could tease for the future so that people feel comfortable spending for the guild points. Because like for me, I burned all my DECB and I'm happy about that, right? Like I got rid of it. It's going to be used in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks once DECB is live. Not DEBC. Once guild points are live, there's so many tokens now, soulbound and not soulbound. Once guild points are live, they had the announcement. I think that's coming out in a couple of weeks here. But for example, what are the different types of catalysts? Well, they could release the numbers and information on what the upcoming guild buildings are going to look like. And if there's a lot of DEC that's going to be required, you may have guilds talk to one another and say, hey, now's a good time where you can kind of get a 2-for-1, right? We're going to be spending it anyway. The team is hopefully going to come out with it by XYZ date. My guess would be, Q3 sometime August, September, hopefully, fingers crossed. And so, and again, I have no idea about the timeline. I'm just thinking sometime after land, they're going to get started on it. But if they come out with that, they can give us the details, the numbers, then we can take a look at that, talk amongst ourselves. I'm sure a lot of guilds are going to look at this and say, hey, how much do we need? Because if we're going to burn the DEC anyway to try and level up these buildings in a month or two, why don't we just go ahead and get it now? Everybody gets another raffle ticket. And granted, I mean, you look at the top here, Housewife, Peak Monsters, Yaba, they're all like 6,000, 5,000 raffle entries. I have six, right? So I don't expect to win much, but if I can burn it now to help the ecosystem, to be part of the overall event, and then finally actually get some value on things that I know are coming within the next 2 to 3 months, that to me is where I think a lot of the big wins and a lot of big catalysts are going to be over the next couple of weeks as the rest of this event plays out. But my updated prediction, again, I know it's a big stretch goal, is 500 million. Again, I don't even know. 500 million is kind of just an arbitrary number for me. But if I'm being honest with you, before this started, I had wanted to say in my prediction 500 million. But I just felt like we weren't going to see the fireworks that we did end up seeing and get to 300 million right there on day two. So the fact that we did makes me feel a little bit more comfortable for 500 million. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It's all going to depend on how much Housewife, Peak Monsters, Yaba Mat, Valhalla God, all it depends on how much they want to stay in the top 10. And, there's a lot of folks on the outside looking in. There's Yixin, there's Night AV, Crypto Eater, Reseller, Forsaken Sushi, even Druid's Blood, right? There's a lot of folks on the outside looking in that may just want to make that final push. So the jockeying for position is going to be really interesting at all three levels, 10, 60, and then again at 200. So, ultimately, I'm hopeful that we see a lot more. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully, this is going to help the ecosystem overall. And, DEC is not quite going to get to peg. I don't think it's going to get to peg. I never said that it would get to peg with this, but we are up from where we were just a couple of weeks ago. So my hope is that if we can stay at this range, DEC only gets more utility as we move forward with announcements about guilds, with announcements about land, all this cool stuff that's coming down the pipeline, maybe cosmetics, skins, battle pass, new game modes, right? There's a lot of stuff, and I'm just looking forward to it. So that's where we're at. Just want to give a little bit of an update on how the event is going right now on day 2. I guess technically we started day 3 already. We're a couple of hours into day 3, but that is all I have. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.